Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, everyone, this is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor. And this is NXT Review for January 3. That's right, it's the first show of the year. And they go into a 2022 review video. You know, they spend a little time looking back at all and everything. And then they go into a match with Melo and Apollo, and it's kind of like, who's next? You know, who's the next guy for the belt? So, of course, they come out of there pretty strong. You know, Apollo comes out with some, you know, he's always got that big drop kick. And Melo's got moves. Melo don't miss. So it's a good start. These guys are battling back and forth and everything. But I got to say, when they go to the first picture-in-picture, there's nothing to come back and like, this is what happened during picture-in-picture, or this is what happened during the break. No, there's none of that, because there was a attempt at a bear hug, and it was definitely a stall, but I don't know, man. I mean, and look, if they needed their wind, then maybe I'm just way overanalyzing this. Because if it was a wind issue, and then I'm not the one up there flying around like both these top flight athletes, so that may be. But okay, all right. In my notes, I put this on the side, but I gotta. You know, I put it on the side because I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring it up. But all right, Trick. First of all, Trick's got a shirt on that says "Trickin' ain't easy." Okay, let that soak in. And then I don't know if anybody remembers the Midnight Rockers. Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels, the Midnight Rockers. Well, Trick's kind of doing his best Marty Jannetty imitation in his outfit. And I'm just going to leave it at that. You know, I'm just going to leave it at that. But this match is back and forth until Apollo messes up. He goes for a move in the corner. He messes up, gets that leg extended. Melo goes after the leg, of course, and he does some good moves. He does a good single leg crab, man. Their timing is on, man. They've got good counters. And they almost messed it up in the end with Trick getting involved again, and the timing got messed up, but the true professionals pulled it off, Melo and Apollo, and they made it look good. So Melo wins this, and they think that everything is good, and then out of the air, just like walking down the road, and then all of a sudden, Axiom! Axiom comes flying out of nowhere. And, man, he can do that, man. He just pops out of nowhere, but he comes flying in, he does a flip on him, and he doesn't do one flip on him. No, he does 2 flips on him, and then says, Trick, come on in for the match. So that leads to a match with Trick and Axiom, and you know, Axiom is definitely the big high flyer, and he's got like some big drop kick. Man, he's got a drop kick when he lands it right. It's up there with some of the best ones I've seen. But Trick is so much bigger, though, man. He's so much bigger, and he'll dominate in spots. And then it's like he goes away for a minute, and then somebody tells him, all right, you got, 40 seconds of offense. And he just comes out and puts together boom, boom, boom. Move after move. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work out, but he has spurts where he is really, really good. But after that, it was straight after the leg. As I said, Mello pulls this off. They go into the Axiom and Trick. They're both into this match pretty heavy. And it looks like Trick's going to pull this off. Everything is going his way at one point, and then out of nowhere, bam! You got knocked up out. That's a Friday reference. Goodbye, Felicia. But Axiom hits this man. It looks good. And then he does a drop kick or whatever. I can't even remember now because he knocks this man. Oops, upside the head. I said, oops, upside your head. Come on now. I mean, yes. So, of course, after the match, Trick comes to and just holds on to Axiom, and Mello comes in there and they put a little whooping on him, and Apollo comes to and jumps up in there and says they clear the ring, and then says pretty much it's setting up a tag team on down the road. But you got New Day in there with Pretty Deadly. And they want The Rock's eyebrow. We won't even go into that. That mine it's not that close, but it's kind of close to the 24/7 title. Anyway, so Pretty Deadly runs out of there, and then New Day's in there, and here comes Schism. And Schism comes in there and lets them know they think that they're kind of a joke, and they're not family. And so they have some words, and apparently it's going to be Kofi and Mr. Gacy, Joe Gacy, going at it coming up in this show. And they go into the Dijak and Stacks deal. And sometimes I think the video quality can be too good. And, it was movie quality, what they were doing. Stacks is handcuffed, got a black eye, and then Dijak works on his ribs. So, I don't know the turn they're making from good guy to bad, whatever they're doing. But Stacks pretty much says, let's finish it in the ring. And that's going to lead to a match. But here's the odd thing. When Stacks is handcuffed up and Dijak says, he's going to let him go and they will fight, he takes a cassette tape out and takes it away. All right, so let me explain to certain people out here that may not know. I said cassette tape in 2023. I said cassette. And look, man, I ain't got no problem with I got a cassette track. I got an 8-track. I got reel-to-reel. I got burnable CDs. I can go all the way through, way on back with that. That's a fact, Jack, on that. But this was a cassette tape. Okay, anyway, I won't get too caught up in that. But anyway, so it's Dijak and Stacks, and Dijak doing when he's doing his sunglasses things, it reminds me a little bit of Big Boss Man. So I don't know if he's been watching a little tapes or something like that, but just to me, seemed a little Big Boss Man. But this match, man, Stacks comes out. He's throwing hands, man. He's rambling and rumbling, and man, he's trying to make sure his name's known. And then he gets some punches because Dijak knows though about the ribs, so he comes out. Every time gets on the ribs, and he kind of manhandles Stacks at times, and I tell you what, at the end though, there's a move that Dijak does with Stacks, and then Stacks is a big guy now, and it's a ricochet off the top rope into whatever move you want to talk. He gets the man on his shoulders and sets him up for several different moves. This move, the one that Dijak uses is his move. It does win the match, but then he continues to put a little whooping on Stacks, and Tony D does not like it. So he jumps in there and says it. He lets everybody know Stacks fought his heart out. He did what he could. He was everything he went through. But let's try it on the Don. Let's try it on Tony D. So that is setting up a match coming up. All right. Let's see. After that, you got Mr. Mensah. You got Ora Mensah talking, doing his little spot and getting ready for 2023 in the club. But then Big Body Javi comes in and he's like, got stuff for sale, and he's sending some old Christmas stuff, and one of them is Big Body Javi's 12 Days of Christmas album, and yeah, okay. But I do like Big Body. I do like Javi. His promos are good. They're both good. His facial expressions are good. I really like what they're building there. He apparently definitely is well schooled, and they're just fine tuning him. So that is really cool. But here's where I kind of have my problem. All right, they bring out Toxic Attraction minus Mandy, but they bring out Toxic, and they're doing their very good, well scripted promo to the T, and then the next thing you know, you got who was it? It was like Indy Hartwell comes out, and then Cora Jade, and then you got Nikki Lyons and Zoe Stark and Wendy Chu. I mean, he just on and on and on, and they bring them all out, and Thea Hale comes out and is like, girl fight, or whatever the hell she said, but I just wasn't too keen on that segment. I think it was a little degrading myself towards the female wrestlers. They could have brought them out and done something a little closer to reality. But that is my opinion in there. But during this whole shenanigans, Roxanne comes out with her unauthoritative voice from the Muffet Skybox, and says that there's going to be a 20-woman battle royal for the number one spot. So she's setting it up again with her non-authoritative voice. So the ladies go back to whooping ass, and they're tearing it up. But then it eventually goes to Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. And let me tell you what, these ladies kicked some major. Yes, they did. This whole setup is just leading to their match. They end up fighting like out in a parking lot, and then they work their way back in, and then they finally get them separated. Then they get them back together, and Miss Fire at one time puts Miss Dawn in a chair, was going to roll her out to ringside, and that didn't work. So she eventually puts her in a wheelbarrow and gets her out to ringside. And they continue to fight and beat the daylights out of each other. And the facial expressions and the talking to herself that Miss Isla Dawn does is just freaking great. And then of course Alba Fire is just one heck of a wrestler. So these two ladies put on a heck of a fight. It's back and forth. There's a toolbox. There's tools. There's things brought in, but the wrench that Aladon does on Alba Fire, not so good of a fan of. Only because I'm not a mechanic, but I know mechanical things. But the crowd out there watching this kind of stuff, they're kind of mechanical too. They're, I would say the average person in a wrestling arena, if something breaks, they've got a 50-50 chance to fix it themselves. They're smarter than a lot of people. We may not have the biggest book sense on some things, but we fix things that break, and we when a road is broke, we fix it. And so that's the mentality of my my hillbilly soap opera that I love wrestling, is the fact that we're all that cool. So I'm sorry, but I did not like the way the ladies got this started. But yes, we went into the wrenches. She's doing this little move, but they did do a move with Alba Fire's hand in the toolbox, and she slammed it. And man, I thought that looked freaking great. Let me see. I had to make extra notes on this match. This match was a banger and a half. With Dawn talking to herself, everything Alba does, just her kicks are just so spot on. And then Alba's the one that gets the table out and everything. But there's a strange backflip by Miss Fire, and it looks like it lands, and it does, but it just doesn't look like it does the damage. It doesn't have the impact. So Miss Fire gets up and puts her in her finishing move and puts her through the table and wins the match. But upon looking back, that was the most perfect cut, straight down the middle of that table. Come on, WWE, man, your table guys, your table crew, they're the best. So come on, man, give me a little jagged edges, or something that looks that way. Yeah, something. But just my opinion, might I add. Okay, let me see. We've got the Grayson Waller promo setting up the upcoming Grayson Waller Effect segment, and he does a good shot. Good looking guy, he's well spoken. He gets out there and says that pretty much he's going to get under Braun's skin and win the championship. So then they go into a Veer Sangha spot with the Creed brothers, but a lot of things that, I guess I just didn't pay attention to. I did not understand that the Veer and Sangha in their own country, which is over 1 billion people, one was the first baseball player out of India, and the other one is on a show that is one of the most popular shows in India. And the Creed brothers, they say that they're not going to be a stepping stone for anyone. So they're gonna, kick butt and call names. But I thought it was really, really well done on that one. So I'm very much looking forward to this match. But then we're gonna come back with Ora Mensa and Big Body Javi. And Big Body Javi comes out, and he's got he's got a Christmas album for sale. And look, man, their Big Body Javi is he's good in the ring, and he's good at selling, and he's good at his promos, man. It was look, he had an old school bulldog, man. He jumped Ora Mensa before the match. He used his hair against him. I mean, everything good heel. Ora, of course, is a very talented. He had just a moonsault from from atmosphere. Really good. It was an okay match. I think both of these guys, the better is yet to come. But then you got a Briggs. You got Briggs and Jensen and Fallon. Kind of partying because all the trouble with the bar is over. And might I say that Brooks has got a Freebird shirt on, and not Freebird like Skinnerd, like Freebird like Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, Freebird. And if you don't know who that is, you better go look that up. But he's got the shirt on, and they're all partying, saying, "Hey, this is going to be their year," But Miss Kiana James shows up, and she's there to meet Brooks a little later. So they setting a little something up. And they did a little strange deal to where they said that there was some kind of tweet. You know what? I didn't even. It's something with the ladies' champs and a tweet that was released. I don't know, but they. The best thing I thought coming up was going to be this Chase U Drew Gulak match. Yeah, they come out and they're like shaking hands after they're doing the gentleman deal on this, and they go, that's only going to last so long. And of course, Drew Gulak's got Hank Walker out there with him, and they go back and forth. At one point in time, Drew almost gets a chicken wing on Mr. Chase, and I personally think that doggone sweater has got to be hard to wrestle in. But they go back and forth. I mean, I don't know. Mr. Chase ends up getting his teachable moment and doing his stomp and doing all that, but that it infuriates Drew Gulak. And he pretty much comes back to start whooping the crap out of him. And he gets a move on him. Well, the whole thing, I think that they were trying to make a point that the whole thing started when Mr. Chase does like they call it a basement drop kick. He goes after, he does a drop kick on his ankles and then starts in on him. So that ticks Drew off, and he proceeds to whoop the tar out of him after that. And when he puts the Drew Gulak on him, he kind of holds it too long. So it makes Hank wonder, why'd you do that? And they do a little segment, coming up like, why'd you do that? And he's like, winning is winning. And they do a little promo with Wesley, the North American champ, talking about Tony D and Dijak, and that since they're going to wrestle next week, that he really would like to, he would enjoy watching them beat the crap out of each other. And he will be doing color commentary on that one. So that is upcoming. Let's see where we've got Kofi and Joe Gacy now. So this match didn't have the outside interference I thought it would, which is really, really good. Joe Gacy looks so old school in the trunks and everything, and the way he wrestles. I love watching him in the ring, man. And he even almost trips on the first time over Kofi in one of the things. And not trip bad, his foot gets caught, but he is such a good worker. You just don't notice it until you go back and look. But, man, Kofi is Kofi. He's going to make them jumps. He's going to make them moves. He's going to have everything. And it's a good match. It's a good match, Dempsey couldn't fight because of his arm, so he's going to want to fight Hank next week, of course, afterwards. But as far as this match goes, one thing let me add. Xavier Woods goes and does color commentary next to Booker T. And Booker T thinks that the New Day is taking some TV time away from the young talent, and he doesn't like them. So they have a ongoing kind of a feud during the spot, which I thought was good. I thought was really good. And as I said, Drew gets a gulak on him, wins the match, and that's the way that goes. But that all leads up to the Grayson Waller effect. Now, Grayson is ready for this. He has been, raising Cain. He's ready for this show because he's really going to get under Braun's skin. And Braun comes out, and they play this smart. Okay? They play it smart. Braun's like, yeah, you won. Yeah, you're better. You're just, and he's... And Grayson gets into it a little bit, and he's, of course, portraying the egotistical person he is, or whatever in this. But, they play like a reversal. Braun acts like nothing's bothering him and everything. So, it's kind of funny to see how it plays out. I think this is... the ladies' match, most of the matches, I can say these are all, the ladies' match was just a bad to the bone match, but this interview is worth going back because you're going to see Braun slowly, he's evolving in front of our eyes, and he's becoming more personable. He's getting more of his own. We're starting to see him come out of a shell, as far as in my opinion. He seems to really be, in this segment, he seems to really come out and he plays it all the way to the end. And he makes some remarks, Grayson does, about his father, and it gets to a point, and of course he's going to make Braun pop him. But then we get the moment of the night for me, that is. Now, I'm a basketball fan. I love seeing people fly through the air with the greatest of ease, with no trapeze, and Braun does a moonsault out of onto Grayson outside. Man. All right, now, Braun is not a small guy. Now, back in the day, comparing his father and his uncle, yeah, I could see them doing that. They were exceptional athletes. The Road Warriors, I could see either one of them flying over like that. But Braun got some height, y'all. He got some ups on that, man. I got nothing but respect after seeing that. So, man, if I put any shade on Braun's name, I officially pull it back after watching that man fly through the air like that. As a big guy, I love watching it. Top Dollar tried to do some flying through the air, and he went flipping and flopping. But Braun had his face plant, that one face plant, but since then, that was when he was very, very new. He's been showing up and showing out, so nothing but props on this one. And look, that's about the best way I think we can end this on January 3rd, the first NXT of the year. All right, guys, I really appreciate this. This has been more fun than you would think. The holidays sometimes can be stressful for everyone, so I hope this was just a quick little break. So I'm going to end it like I always do. Rescue if you can, of course, spade and neuter. And this is Memphis Mark. And you know what? I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.